Hi guys, this is my first update since June. I have been slacking on my YouTube, so I'm going to promise to do better this year. The last event that we raced, we ended up breaking in the first round of qualifying. This is what happened. What you saw in the video, my first gear broke. The car wouldn't go anywhere, so we loaded the car up. We took it home. Originally we're gonna plan just to take out the transmission, but we decided to take out the motor too, just to check it, do like some preventative maintenance, change the bearings, change the piston rings. So what you see here is me just prepping the engine just to take the head off, take everything off. We're gonna go take it to the machine shop to get it checked out. While the motor was out, we decided to take the turbo to get checked and inspected to make sure that it was doing good. I ended up having the turbo rebuilt because one of the wheels were bad. Whenever we pulled off the head, there was like indentations on top of the piston, so we wanted to get everything checked out, make sure that everything was still good. My transmission, we ended up replacing the first gear. We did it in factory first gear. We changed the synchros for first and second, and whenever the first gear went, we broke the main shaft. So there's like a lot of chips missing from it, so we ended up replacing the main shaft too. So my lovely boyfriend actually rebuilt my transmission for me. He painted my transmission cover too to make it look pretty whenever it goes back in. Background, I never originally wanted to do such a big build. I just wanted to refresh and keep it humble, and like this is just my spare car for fun until my 240 is done. I ended up going with a JBRE head because the original machine shop that I took my car to had my engine for over a month and never touched it, so kind of put me in a time crunch because I promised to go to so many events. I ended up not making it to any of those events because of this machine shop. When I heard about the motor, only 3 of the valves were good, and pretty much told me that I have to rebuild, you know, the whole entire head. In a good way though, I kind of met an amazing person. I met Kenny from Domiville. He ended up recommending me a CNC JBRE head, and I ended up getting that. He had the head assembled for me in a week, and I ended up having him assemble the rest of the motor for me so I could go to work. And everything, all in all, the engine was back in the car within 2 weeks. We ended up having to buy a new intake too because the head that we went with was a V16 head. I originally had a GSR head, so we ended up doing a different intake and a bigger throttle body. I bought some nice little accessories to dress up my engine since everything was pretty much brand new. Might as well do it right the first time and make it look nice. Originally, this took a lot longer than I expected because I had to pick up a lot of shifts at work just to afford rebuilding an engine. I never expected this to happen whenever I bought this car, and in February of 2022. I thought it was just a sound drag car. I think a lot of the issues was the fuel being bad and having bad fuel lines. Ended up pushing the car too far and ended up blowing the motor. I ended up having to rebuild this whole entire car. I rebuilt the engine, the transmission, and the turbo. Here's a little sneak peek of my baby, my 240. It's still at the chassis shop. Eventually we'll get it out of there and we'll be able to drive it again. But since we did a whole new engine, we ended up going with a new tuner. I had Gringo Tune or Rob tune my car at Induction Performance. This is us arriving there. We initially had trouble starting the car because the new throttle body wasn't calibrated yet. We didn't know really how to configure it ourselves, so that took a little issue getting the car started. We did a couple passes on the dyno and we had like wonky looking graphs, so we ended up changing out the TPS. Once we changed out the TPS, we ended up getting a lot smoother of a graph. We ended up making about 700 and some change Alright, so we made 700 horsepower conservatively. I don't want to push it too far. On the bottom of the block is still stock. All we have is rods. I want to eventually get a PPG, but I'm kind of like debating between like, is my 240 going to be done soon? Am I going to continue down this path? Like, is it worth spending that much money for running an index class or a bracket class? We'll see what 2023 holds for us.